Get ready for a seismic shift in the Eastern Conference as Giannis Antetokounmpo's future hangs in the balance. The Knicks are on a roll, but will they be ready for this potential game-changer? Plus, the Nets are fired up, channeling pure frustration after another tough loss to their rivals, and one player is calling out a former teammate directly. We've got all the explosive details on Giannis's potential move and the fiery exchange between former teammates. Don't miss a second of this breaking NBA drama, and make sure you're subscribed to stay ahead of the game. Like, subscribe, and hit that bell.
Your brand new iPhone deserves the best protection, and the iLume 3-Pack Screen Protector plus 3-Pack Camera Lens Protector has you covered. Don't take risks with your iPhone. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Giannis Antetokounmpo's future is set to send shockwaves through the Eastern Conference. The Milwaukee Bucks, once a dominant force, have seen a gradual decline, making them a team that now heavily relies on their superstar, Giannis Antetokounmpo. After a year filled with trade rumors and speculation about his happiness, the Knicks, who are currently performing strongly, need to be aware that any move Giannis makes will significantly impact their regional standing. He dominated trade deadline discussions without committing to a single stance on his future, oscillating between wanting to retire a Buck and seeking a more competitive situation. Ultimately, he remained in Milwaukee when his high asking price deterred potential suitors, pushing his next decision to the offseason. Now, teams like the Knicks, aiming to solidify their position in the East, face two major possibilities. If Giannis decides to leave, he could join the Knicks, potentially impacting their depth, or he could bolster one of their rivals. A megadeal for Antetokounmpo would likely require more than just Karl-Anthony Towns financially fitting into a swap. The Bucks would need a high-level contributor and satisfactory draft compensation to offset the loss of one of the decade's best players. While this would be a blow to the Knicks' current roster and future team-building aspirations, acquiring Antetokounmpo would undeniably boost their immediate championship chances. Bucks co-owner Wes Edens confirmed that either an extension or a trade is imminent. A move to a team like the Miami Heat or Toronto Raptors could transform a play-in contender into a dark horse championship candidate, even if their roster undergoes significant changes. The looming end of his contract will likely reduce Milwaukee's asking price, increasing interest from other teams. Regardless of the outcome, the Knicks must leverage their late-season momentum, aiming for an NBA Finals appearance and victory. As other teams position themselves to build their next great squad, the Knicks have an opportunity to lead the conference with Jalen Brunson and a potential Antetokounmpo trade package, especially if he expresses a desire to play in New York. Will Giannis's next move redefine the Eastern Conference race? Up next, the Nets are fuming after another loss, and a star player is speaking out. The Nets are furious, feeling the sting of yet another loss to their rivals, the Knicks. Despite being undersized and undermanned, the Brooklyn Nets showed incredible fight, nearly staging a comeback led by Josh Minott and the bench in a heartbreaking 93-92 defeat. The intensity of the loss was palpable, with Minott expressing his deep disappointment. "I wanted that so King bad." He highlighted the feeling of playing road games every time they hit the court and emphasized that this game was a chance to prove their worth as an organization. Minott spoke about the overwhelming presence of Knicks fans, describing it as a sea of blue and orange, and expressed his respect for the loyal Brooklyn fans who endure being outnumbered. He firmly believes in the team's potential, stating, "We have pieces here. I've seen it." He even used air quotes when discussing the rivalry, underscoring the significance of the matchup for him. The Nets have now lost an astonishing 14 consecutive games to the Knicks, their last victory dating back to January 28, 2023. This latest loss followed two significant blowouts earlier in the season. However, Friday's game showcased a level of pride and grit that had been missing. Karl-Anthony Towns led the Knicks with 26 points and 15 rebounds, attempting more free throws than the entire Nets team. Brooklyn's defense, however, was physical with Towns throughout the first half, contributing to their 50-44 lead. Minott noted that Towns dislikes physicality, a tactic the Nets aim to employ. Despite building a lead, Brooklyn faltered, allowing a 26 run by the Knicks. Even when down by 14 points late in the game, a bench unit sparked a 17-0 run, holding the Knicks scoreless for over 6 minutes and even regaining the lead. Ultimately, a late surge by Jalen Brunson sealed the win for New York, leaving the Nets to rue missed opportunities. The Nets, currently third in lottery odds, are continuing their rebuilding phase. Will the Nets' frustration fuel a future victory? Next, we break down the thrilling, down-to-the-wire Knicks vs. Nets game and a surprising jab from a former teammate. The New York Knicks narrowly defeated the Brooklyn Nets 93-92 in a nail-biting contest, extending their winning streak in the local rivalry. Karl-Anthony Towns was instrumental for the Knicks, recording 26 points and 15 rebounds, while Jalen Brunson added 17 points and OG Anunoby contributed 16. The game was a roller coaster of emotions, with the Knicks overcoming a 13-point deficit in the first half and then squandering a 14-point lead in the fourth quarter. The Nets had a chance to win at the buzzer, but Ben Saraff's long-range attempt fell short. This victory marks the Knicks' 14th consecutive win against the Nets, the longest streak for either team in their rivalry, with the Nets' last win occurring before key trades in January 2023. The game featured several intense moments, including technical fouls assessed to Mitchell Robinson and Zaire Williams after a confrontation, and to Anunoby and Nick Claxton following a turnover. Josh Minott led the Nets with 22 points, and Zaire Williams added 17, but the Nets have now lost 6 games in a row. After a slow first quarter, where the Knicks scored a season-low 14 points, they trailed 50-44 at halftime. However, a dominant 31-15 third quarter propelled them to a 75-65 lead. The Knicks extended their advantage to 84-70 in the fourth, but the Nets mounted an incredible 17-0 run to take an 87-84 lead with just over 3 minutes remaining. The momentum swung back as Towns and Brunson combined for 8 points, putting the Knicks up 92-87 with just over a minute left. A late three-pointer from Traore brought the Nets within 1, but Towns' missed free throws and Saraff's final attempt sealed the Knicks' victory. The Knicks are set to host the Washington Wizards next, while the Nets will visit the Sacramento Kings. Can the Knicks maintain this momentum against tougher opponents? Coming up, a former teammate of Karl-Anthony Towns reveals what he really thinks about the Knicks star. Karl-Anthony Towns faced pointed criticism from a former teammate following the Knicks' recent victory over the Nets. Despite the Knicks securing their 5th consecutive win against the Brooklyn Nets, head coach Mike Brown acknowledged that his team was outplayed for stretches. The post-game narrative, however, was dominated by Brooklyn Nets veteran Josh Minott's direct remarks about his former teammate, Karl-Anthony Towns. Minott, who played with Towns for 2.5 seasons on the Minnesota Timberwolves, stated, "I played with KAT for 2.5 years. I know him like this, and he don't like physicality." He elaborated, "I love KAT, but he don't like physicality. That's my boy too. I hope this angers him." Minott emphasized the Nets' strategy to bring physicality to Towns, aiming to exploit this perceived weakness, and believes it contributed to Towns' second-half performance. He acknowledged Towns' talent, but affirmed the Nets' commitment to stopping him. Towns played through a family emergency to contribute 26 points and 15 rebounds in 29 minutes, shooting 7 of 16 from the field and 11 of 13 from the free throw line. Minott, coming off the bench for the Nets, had an impressive performance with 22 points in 26 minutes, shooting 8 of 13 from the field, and also added 5 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks. Minott, drafted in 2022 and traded to the Timberwolves, spent 3 seasons there before signing a 2-year deal with the Boston Celtics last July. He was then traded to the Nets ahead of the 2026 trade deadline. This game was only his 10th with Brooklyn, but he's quickly embracing the New York rivalry and making his presence felt. Will Minott's words motivate Towns for the rest of the season? Stay tuned for our full recap and what's next for these teams. That was a whirlwind of NBA action. Giannis Antetokounmpo's future is uncertain and could shake up the East. The Nets battled hard but fell just short against the Knicks in a heated rivalry game, and Karl-Anthony Towns received some pointed comments from a former teammate. Don't miss any of the breaking NBA news. Make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and follow us on all social media platforms for more exclusive updates.